The blizzard came out of nowhere, violent, merciless, a wide wall swallowing the entire mountain highway. Most drivers pulled over, too afraid to continue. But one truck pushed forward through the storm. Inside it sat a U.S. veteran named Cole Walker, and his loyal retired canine, Shadow. Visibility was nearly zero, yet Shadow suddenly shot up, ears stiff, body trembling, eyes locked on something Cole couldn't see. Before Cole could react, the dog barked sharply, urging him to stop. Through the swirling snow, faint headlights flickered. Then the mangled frame of a crashed car appeared, and beside it, two elderly figures fought to stand, one bleeding from the head, the other clinging to him, crying for help no one else could hear. Cole thought he was just stopping for a rescue. But the truth behind who this elderly couple really was and the gift they later gave him would shake the entire town. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The blizzard roared across the mountain highway like a living beast, swallowing everything in its path. Snow hammered against Cole Walker's windshield, turning the road into a shifting blur of white. He tightened his grip on the steering wheel, his breath fogging the cold air inside the truck. Beside him, Shadow, his loyal retired canine, shifted uneasily, ears twitching at sounds Cole couldn't hear. Suddenly, Shadow shot up, muscles rigid, a sharp bark ripping through the silence. Cole slowed instinctively, but the dog barked again, louder, more urgent. Something was wrong. Through the chaotic swirl of snow, faint, flickering headlights appeared. Cole leaned forward, heart thudding, as the mangled outline of a crashed vehicle emerged from the storm. Then he saw them, two elderly figures struggling to stand beside the wreck, clinging to each other against the brutal wind. Shadow growled softly. The danger wasn't over. Cole didn't hesitate. He threw open the truck door, and the storm punched into him like a wall of ice. Snow whipped across his face as he rushed toward the wreck, Shadow leaping out beside him with a sharp, protective bark. The elderly man swayed on his feet, blood seeping from a cut on his forehead. The woman clung to him, her lips blue, her breaths shallow and uneven. "We're here to help," Cole shouted over the roar of the wind. He slid an arm under the woman's shoulders, feeling her tremble violently. Shadow circled the couple, positioning himself like a living barrier against the storm. A sudden hiss made Cole's heart drop, fuel leaking beneath the mangled car, catching sparks from twisted metal. "Move!" he yelled. He pulled them away just as a small burst of flame flickered beneath the wreck. The moment they cleared the wreck, the woman's legs buckled. Her eyes fluttered, and she collapsed into the snow with a soft cry. Cole dropped to his knees beside her, alarm slamming through him. Her skin was ice cold. Her pulse, faint hypothermia, was tightening its grip fast. Shadow pressed himself against her side, using his body heat to keep her alive. The elderly man trembled violently, unable to stand on his own. Cole looked around. The storm had swallowed the road completely. No headlights. No signal. No help coming. "We need to move," Cole muttered, lifting the woman carefully into his arms. The weight felt heavier than he expected, weakened by the cold. Shadow nudged the elderly man, guiding him step by step. Just then, a violent gust triggered a snowbank collapse behind them, sealing the road under a wall of white. Their way out had vanished by the time Cole reached his truck. Hope soured in his chest. The engine refused to start. The cold had killed the battery. He tried again, but the truck only groaned weakly before falling silent. Shadow barked sharply, turning his head toward the highway. Through the blinding curtain of snow, a pair of headlights swerved wildly, tires skidding across the ice. Cole waved both arms. "Slow down!" he yelled. The driver slammed the brakes just in time, the car fishtailing before halting inches from them. A young man jumped out, eyes wide. "Oh my God, are they okay?" "Help me get them inside your car," Cole said urgently. Together, they carried the elderly woman and helped the trembling man into the warm back seat. Shadow curled beside them, refusing to rest, his eyes fixed on the storm as if daring it to try again. At the hospital, doctors rushed the couple into emergency care, their voices sharp with urgency. Hours later, when the storm finally eased, the truth emerged. The elderly pair, George and Martha Hill, were not just anyone. They were beloved teachers who had spent 40 years shaping the town's children, guiding generations with patience and kindness. When they awoke, they immediately asked for Cole and Shadow. Cole stepped into the room quietly, unsure of what to expect. But Martha reached for his hand with trembling fingers. "You didn't just save us," she whispered. "You saved what's left of our family." George's voice cracked as he added, "We lost our son. A soldier like you. Seeing you fight for us out there felt like he was with us again." Emotion filled the room, heavy and warm. Shadow rested his head in Martha's lap, sensing the tenderness in their words. A week later, the town hall filled with curious whispers after an unexpected announcement. Cole arrived with Shadow at his side, unsure why he'd been called. At the front of the room stood George and Martha, looking far stronger than the night he'd rescued them. The moment they saw Cole, their eyes softened. "We owe our lives to this man." "And this remarkable dog," George began, his voice echoing through the silent hall. Martha held up a small envelope, her hands trembling. "This is our gift to you." Cole opened it and froze. Inside was a fully funded plan for a canine rehabilitation and training center dedicated to retired service dogs. The name at the top stunned everyone. The Shadow Service Dog Center. Gasps rippled through the room as people rose to their feet in applause. Shadow barked once, proudly, tail wagging. George stepped forward and whispered, "You saved us. Let us save others with you." Cole felt his throat tighten. Shadow had changed their lives. And now the whole town would never forget him.